Jaden took me to Port Orleans Riverside Resort at Walt Disney World this past weekend, and this is how it went. I don't think I've ever packed a suitcase so quickly in my life. I was so excited, and we were staying one night, so I didn't have to pack that much, but I did have to make it all pink. When we arrived, we gave them our suitcase, and then we checked out the general store. They had these moving figures of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Goofy, who was just rocking back and forth, getting high off fumes. I interrupt this program for a bathroom check. I am a bathroom critic when it comes to Disney parks and resorts, and I must say, the lobby bathroom was so fancy. I walked in and I literally went, oh. So while we were waiting on our room to be ready, we were strolling around the resort, checking everything out. Most of the pathways are along the river, which was super relaxing, and you can watch the boats go by. There are so many bridges on this property, so we stood on the bridges and checked out the view. This boat waved at us, which was so exciting. It was very early 2000s core when everyone's waving at the camcorder. The little sanctuaries of different themed rooms were very symmetrical, which was so aesthetically pleasing. We could see the boat dock, which is where the boats take you to the other Port Orleans resort, which is French Quarter, and then it also takes you to Disney Springs. And we also saw the water wheel, but we'll get a closer look at that later. It's like the weenie of the resort. If you don't know what a weenie is, it is not a hot dog and it's not the other thing. It is the icon of the park, like the castle for Magic Kingdom and the Tree of Life for Animal Kingdom, and so on and so forth. Once our room was ready, we went and checked it out. It was in the Oak Manor portion, and our room was called the Royal Room, and you can just see why. It was so impressive walking in, I have to say. I felt like I was walking into the castle suite at Magic Kingdom. Right in front of the door is this fancy corner with some windows and nice detailed curtains. On the table, there is a letter from Princess Tiana printed into it, and it says basically that this room is filled with little goodies that her princess friends gave her. So you can see these hooks for purses and jackets. It has the Cinderella carriage on it. This picture of Princess Tiana, which is 3D, which is freaking cool. Also a little creepy because she like followed me around the corner. It was really weird. But the frame is a Snow White frame, and it has little bunnies and owls carved into it. Very cottagecore, very demure, very cutesy. All of the furniture has details engraved into it, like this flower on the curtain rod, and the lights in the bathroom faucets were the genie lamps from Aladdin. The wallpaper had a trim around it with different characters in the bedroom and the bathroom. They're all the friends of the princesses. The bathroom curtain had things from The Little Mermaid. It had a dingle hopper and a starfish and some other things. Now let's get into the beds, okay? I'm excited for this. So the headboard is super fancy. There's lights coming down on it, and the little like gemstones light up too. And there's a beautiful painting of the bayou. There's a button on the side of the headboard that turns on fiber optic lights. Oh my god, that's crazy. It gets sparkly, it does a fireworks show, but it doesn't last forever. It does turn off after, I want to say like 30 seconds maybe. Next to the beds, there are pictures of some different princesses, and the TV says New and Crouch Party, which makes me feel so fancy. And the stand that the TV is on has a mini fridge hidden inside of it, which I literally had no idea. I was like, do we have a mini fridge? I don't know, I didn't see one. Like, I'm trying to think about it. We just have like a dresser. Like, I don't think there's one in the dresser, but it was hidden pretty good. I like a good themed technology that doesn't belong in that time period, you know? Great disguise, worked too well. The nightstand has the My Disney thing set up on it, and it had a phone and some information all packed on it. After checking out the room, we went to the Riverside Mill and Market, and that place is so cute. It's got like a few different food places inside of it, and they each look like little buildings. So the bakery is its own little like building facade, and then there's like a sandwich one, and then other different types of food. I got chicken tenders and street corn fries. After that, we made our way to the boat dock where we took the boat to Disney Springs. We made one stop on the way there at the French Quarter Resort, and it started to feel a little bit long on the way there. I'm not gonna lie, I had to kind of talk myself out of getting nauseous because sometimes when the other boats were passing us, we would hit some kind of choppy waves, but it was nowhere near as like bouncy as some other boats I've been on. It was impressively stable. Is impressively a word? But other than that, it was really relaxing. I loved it. We were waving at each other, all the other boats that were passing. It was sweet. When we got to Disney Springs, we checked out the Christmas trees outside of World of Disney because we heard there was one with transportation stuff on it, and we are very into that. Specifically monorail and people mover, and we do appreciate a good boat as well. And it had 2 of those. We were really hoping for people mover, but we got monorail, so. And boat. And then there was a Hulu tree next to it, which had Futurama ship on it. The Planet Express at Disney. Yes, this is the 3rd time I've seen Futurama being advertised at Disney because it's on Disney Plus technically now because they're partnered with Hulu. We've seen 2 Futurama advertisements, one in Hollywood Studios, one at the TTC, and now we've seen this ornament on this tree, which is epic. There were actually 2 of them. Then we went to Basin, and I told myself I was just gonna sniff, but then I realized we have a bathtub in our room, and I have been wanting to try this pink candy, I forget the exact name of it, but it's a really sweet smelling bath bomb that has a bracelet inside of it. So I got it. Stay tuned to see the bracelet. We went to a couple other stores and then walked back to the boat and took the boat back to the resort. We got a really good view of the French Quarter's pool when we were on the way back. I love their sculpture out there of this like sea serpent, and then they have this like clamshell. From the resort, we took the bus to EPCOT and we rode Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I love that ride. It's so good. And we got Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And then we went to the aquarium where I saw my girl, Big Boss, got my picture with her. Shout out to her family. I love her so much. I made an Instagram account for her and everything. So Big Boss #1 fan on Instagram. Check it out. We also saw Sigsby, the green moray eel. He was out for once. It was my first time seeing him like halfway out of his hiding spot. He's huge, bruh. And we also saw Puff, the pufferfish. You guessed it. Yes, he's adorable. I love him so much. I love all of them, actually. When we went to the nursery upstairs, we saw Prince Charming, who is a slipper lobster, and he had a snail on his head. First of all, Prince Charming is never out of his cave hiding spot. Like, it's very rare that he's walking around the tank. It's double rare that there's a snail on his head. So he like jumped back and the snail fell off. And then he grabbed it and tried to eat it, but the snail like went way back in its shell, so he wasn't able to. But that was quite the adventure. After that, we ate at the Coral Reef restaurant, which is my favorite. They have a view into the aquarium that Big Boss is in. It's the 2nd largest aquarium in the US, and they have rays, sea turtles, sharks, all kinds of fish in there. It's so entertaining to watch, and we got a really good seat. We got really lucky. Jaden got the surf and turf, and I got the shrimp fettuccine, and it was delicious. After dinner, we went back to the room, did a little fit check in the bathroom, in the mirror, which, by the way, this was the only full-length mirror in there, and it was the only unthemed mirror. The other 2 mirrors had fancy frames on them. Okay, get ready for this. We figured out how to hold the button to the fiber optic lights down so it would stay on. We shoved a hanger into the button and figured out how to get it to stay, and we watched those lights for hours. We put our pillows from next to the headboard to the other side and just laid there and watched the fireworks show. Longest fireworks show I've ever seen, and honestly my favorite because it was nice and quiet. No boom boom. We also watched The Little Mermaid because we've never watched it together. It was my favorite Disney movie growing up besides Peter Pan. Those two, oh my god. Watched them over and over. And because we had a picture of Ariel and the Dingle Hopper, and then we had Sebastian and Scuttle on the wallpaper, so it was like a sign. And then I used my bath bomb. Let me tell you, this bracelet, I was not expecting to look like that. And on top of that, it broke within a few seconds of trying to put it on. The next morning, we checked out of our room and strolled around the resort some more because I did not want to leave. We found a hammock and laid down in it for a while, and it was kind of tucked away under the trees, and so we were watching squirrels and lizards, and it was really peaceful. And we could like very faintly hear some music from the pool. We saw a lot of apple snail eggs, I'm not gonna lie. There were a bunch on the outside of the, what's it called? The Riverside Mill and Market. And I'm just saying, this is a Riverside resort. Why are we not taking care of the river? Don't get me wrong, I love apple snails, but they're so invasive, it's insane. We watched the water wheel for a while, and we watched more boats go by, and this one honked at me. We also saw a bunch of turkeys. There were like 6 of them, and while I was recording them, one of the cast members came up and said, yeah, they come here every year around this time, and there's always like 5 or 6 of them. And we're like, what? That's so cute. There was one that looked like he was trying to get a room. He was like standing outside of someone's door. Could you imagine leaving your room and there's a turkey standing there waiting for you? When we were done strolling the resort, we took the bus to EPCOT again, and we rode Guardians of the Galaxy again, and we got Everybody Wants to Rule the World again. And it was really peaceful, actually. I love when we get that song because it's a totally different vibe. This is all the loot we got. We got some souvenirs. I traded 2 pins on the pin trading boards. I got Gil from Finding Nemo in a bag, and I got the Horizons logo, which is an old ride at EPCOT. And then we bought the Riverside Resort pin, which has Mickey fishing on it. It's really cute. And Pluto's laying down next to him, and it's got the water wheel there. We got this Daisy sticker for free because someone had this little bag of stickers on their hotel room door, and they had a sign that said, "It's my birthday, take as many stickers as you'd like." And we also got a pressed penny of the, as close as we could get to the Riverside Resort logo. They didn't have the exact logo, even though it's already shaped like an oval. In conclusion, we had a blast, and I love this resort so much. We've walked around it once before, but we never actually stayed there, and I was actually already thinking about going back. You can just tell this resort is made for relaxing. There's water everywhere. They provide transportation across the property because it's so big. They have this golf cart that they take you on, and they put your luggage on there for you. They have activities at the pool. They have giant checkers, roasting marshmallows. You can get a free marshmallow. There's an arcade. There are 7 pools. 7 pools. There's a live performance at the River Roost Lounge. There's a playground, fishing, horse-drawn carriage rides, and 2 different types of bikes that you can take around the resort. I could spend 2 weeks there and not get bored and not go to the parks at all. I love it there, honestly, and I can't wait to go back, even if it's just for visiting and not staying. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace and love.